generally it comes up on here, and I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it's doing, and that scares me. Let's see. Yeah, we're live.
All right.
We're live. Welcome off the bench sports family. We are here live, Albany High School, home of the Lady Hornets. Joining us right now, trying to think of this in my mind to make sure I get it right. Stacey Darouse.
That's correct.
Stacey Darouse. She is the head basketball coach for the Lady Hornets. I want to say this, and I don't want to put you out on the spot. I don't want to, little sweat beads to pop in your forehead or anything. But she's synonymous with winning. She does a lot, and I'm not gonna say with a little, but with most of her teams are not as athletic as the counterparts that she competes against, and yet she still figures out a way to make it to the top 28, which I think is astounding because that takes a lot of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I may not always say anything, but again, I've said this a million times. The biggest thing I do is pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch, you guys from afar. Benita Johnson, Dennis Chandler,
Right.
Coach Mims at Warren Easton.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good group of y'all that are really solid. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about Coach Stacey, or do they call you Coach Darouse?
Coach Stacey.
Coach Stacey.
Coach Stacey.
Okay.
Born and raised here. This is my alma mater. My mom coached me in high school. Went to LSU, played basketball there. Graduated. I coached 4 years at Family Christian in Baton Rouge, small school. Then moved back home. I was the middle school coach for 12 years, and I've been here the last 8.
Okay. So you played at LSU. You played for
Coach Gunner.
Right. She was the basketball legend.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably played with Pokey then.
Pokey graduated a year before I came in. I played with Cornelia Gayden.
Okay.
Pokey was an assistant coach.
So let me get in your biz.
Sure.
How old are you?
45.
45.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vanessa Jacobs, was she there at that time?
No.
She was already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So she was with Pokey maybe?
Yes. Pokey, Barbara Henderson, they're all a couple years older than me.
A couple?
Yeah.
At least 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like playing for Coach Gunter?
It was great. Very open door. You could go sit in her office anytime and tell her just about anything, and she would listen. On the back end of her career, very experienced. So I was very blessed that I got to play 30 minutes from where I grew up. And so I always had family there supporting me, and so that was great. And I learned a lot about how to be a coach, and between playing for Coach Gunner and playing for my mom, I kind of sort of didn't have a choice but to do this. But yeah, I love it.
I'm laughing, y'all, because Coach Stacey is probably only 5'6".
Ooh, no.
Generous, huh?
Ooh, very. Very.
And so I'm trying to picture.
I'm 5'3" on a good day with the right shoes.
I'm trying to picture this feisty little guard.
Very much.
Playing basketball for Coach Gunter at LSU, and you played for in the middle of her coaching career, probably.
On the back end, I was there from '92 to '96.
Either way, she was really feisty, like
for sure. Yeah, in the middle of playing for her, she quit smoking. So talk about feisty.
No. So I officiated when I first moved here, and I used to go work her camp every year, and she was just the most beautiful lady. That's where I got to meet Pokey. She was just nothing but nice to me.
Sure.
And that's, you know, that's probably again where I fell in love with LSU women's basketball. The men's, not so much. But you know, I'm still a big fan of LSU ladies basketball. I just hate that we let a lot of girls go. Destiny Rice, Jalen Robinson, Mingo.
Yeah.
I guess this is how the rubber ball bounce. What was your life like as a middle school coach?
You know, a lot more subdued. It was a lot of teaching skills, preparing players to be high school players, finding that level of commitment, teaching them how to be committed and have discipline, but at the same time allowed me enough time at home to raise my kids and be a mother, and I always have the utmost respect for ladies who coach high school and raise kids at the same time, because it is tough.
It's definitely
it's tough.
I've never been a lady before, but I'm sure it's tough.
It is. It's tough. It's tough to manage all of those things, but
and be good at what you do.
Absolutely.
And be good at what you do, because with anything that you care about, it takes you pouring in a lot of yourself for it to be successful.
Yes.
And unless you've been there before, you'll never understand it.
Yeah, I'm telling my age, but my kids were grown by the time I took the high school job, and so having that time that I don't have to be home necessarily with my family, and my husband coaches with me, so him and I get to spend a lot of time in the gym together. We spend a lot of time in this office together, but not having little kids has allowed me to work harder, longer.
The process of transitioning from middle school to high school. What was your first year like?
Well, my first year, I actually did not take the job until about a week before season started. And my assistant coach at the time that was here, Rebecca Buson, I could not have done it without her. I felt like it was super important for those girls to still be doing what they had spent all summer and preseason working on. And so the entire year it was about allowing them to be comfortable in what they had learned and implementing little bits of things as we went on. But Rebecca and I joke all the time about the first year is such a blur, because it was coming in so late. And I would hit her on the bench and say, what's that play that we run that sends her? Because I didn't know all the plays that they had spent time working on. But those group of kids, they were great. They embraced me at a horrible transition time. And we made the top 28 in my first year. Wow. So kudos to that group of kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're a high school coach now. You played for your mother, played for Coach Gunter. You've learned, you've been through a 12-year middle school run. What did you learn about yourself after your first year of high school basketball? Being fortunate enough, as you said, to make it to the top 28. What did you know about Stacey Darouse after that point?
Well, anybody that knows me knows I don't do lazy. So if you want success, you have to work for it.
Right.
And making the transition of working harder, longer hours, longer days, more days, I realized, man, this is hard. But I'm willing to do hard for success.
Right.
And, the tradition here is very strong. And I certainly don't want to be the one that lets that drop, So there's a very high standard that was created between my mom and Karen Hoyt, who was right after her. And
very familiar with Karen.
So my kids They are community kids. They grow up. When I go back and watch film from 5 or 6 years ago, I see my juniors and seniors sitting behind the bench as 5th and 6th graders, 7th and 8th graders. So they grow up being in the gym and watching the tradition, and that's a great help, a great tool. The parents here have grown up watching. So, you know, when you talk about discipline and maintaining a high level, it's a community effort. You know, I have to have discipline from the players, from the parents, from the fans, from the community. And so it is genuinely a community effort to keep us where we are.
I know Karen them does a great job with summer ball here. How involved with you are that? How involved with that are you?
I allow access to the gym, but I step away. I think it's very important for my players to play for different people and to be able to adjust to different styles of play, because there's so many different ways to play basketball. So I step away and just strictly stick to my team during the summer and go and watch, and I get to be a cheerleader every now and then.
Right. You complete your first year top 28. It don't even matter how far you went, if you made it to the finals or not. Just getting there is huge. You come back. What was your set goal for your team? How much higher did you set the standard for you guys to be successful?
The standard every year is top 28. If we don't make the top 28, we've had a down year. And so the standard pretty much stays the same. Our goal every single year is to win a state championship. That's our goal every year. And so you aim high, you expect a lot, you get a lot.
Right.
And so that is our expectation. That is the players' expectations. And the seniors, our upperclassmen, teach our younger kids that is the expectation, that being at the quarterfinals isn't good enough.
Right.
You got to get there. Once you get there, being there is not good enough. You got to make the finals. And then, you know, we're still striving for that state championship. But that's our goal every year, is to win as many games as we can.
You can't be taking my questions away. You can't be taking my questions away. You can't do that. That's not fair. So you guys, you made me skip ahead.
I'm sorry.
You guys haven't won one. What year did you think that this is our year? We have everything that we need to
you
get
know, the year we went to the finals, which was, I think it was three or 4 years ago, we played a horrendously tough schedule. And at Christmas break, we were about 8-6, right at 500. And I thought, if we don't get it together, this is my best chance, and we're gonna miss it.
Right.
And first district game of the year, got down double digits, came back and won at the buzzer, and that ignited the fire. And we started playing better and better and better, and we hit our stride in playoffs. And we went on the road in the quarters and we were playing a team that had beat us by 30 points earlier in the year. And I think it set that team up, and we played on the road and got a big win. And we played in Hammond. Top 28 was in Hammond that year, so we were able to sleep in our own bed. And I felt like that was huge to keep our routine the same.
Right.
And I thought that was to this point, that's been our best shot at getting one.
Right.
So.
Man, that, you know, the process of greatness always, again, I've been a big fan, a very big fan of Dennis Challenge. He's won at McCall, which is Madison now.
Right.
He's also won at East Ascension. You know, and even, you know, in his, I think it's year 24 maybe for him at East Ascension, even the years that he didn't win, he was always successful, because the girls that leave him, they go off and become successful at life. And the one thing that I, being mentored by him, that he has always said, and he's steadfast on this, in order for you to be successful, you have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
What do you sacrifice? What do you girls sacrifice every year to continue the success that you have?
Probably the biggest thing would be their time. Whether it's time with their family or time with their friends. When everybody's sleeping in the summer, we're here. We're in the weight room. So they spend a lot of time with me in the summer. They spend a lot of time with me in the holidays. We don't take much time off. They're gym rats. But they have to be for us to be successful.
Right.
3 mornings a week, we're here at 6:40 a.m. shooting. But we have to be.
Right.
Because we're not athletic. Other than one kid, we're not big. So to compete with the players and the teams that have a little more natural ability, we
Right.
have to do that.
Right.
And they understand that. So
Again, forgive my laughter because
no, it is what it is.
I'm not laughing at you, but you say you like, and even I said it like. I said you guys are non-athletic.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do that. We can't do that because at the end of the day, these young ladies ball hard.
They play hard.
They go 200 miles per hour.
That's right.
I got this, I've seen you in the past, but
Mm-hmm.
recently, as early as a week and a half ago in the
Right.
Dunham tournament,
Right.
and I missed the first game, but the day that I saw you, I missed the first game or whatever it was. But all the talk around the gym was that Albany beat U-High, who was up by 20 plus point lead,
Yeah.
and everybody in the gym said that they knew you guys were going to come back and win. How do you keep pulling out wins?
Well, in that particular game, I didn't feel like we had played bad. We were down by 18 at halftime. And I didn't feel like we had played bad. I just felt like we had shot really bad. And what we were doing was working. And part of what we do is wear people down. And I tell them all the time, no matter how many mistakes you make, you can fix it with effort.
Right.
And you can fix it with hustle. And nothing gets a team fired up than a better hustle play.
Right.
And so, and I tell them, at halftime, I told them, I'm okay. If I'm okay, y'all are okay. And so I think that was the mantra of the second half was, let's just go get the ball.
Right.
And we don't have to catch 18 points in one shot. We just gonna chip away. We're gonna get a little one here. We're gonna get one here and get one there. And we did that, and before you knew it, the game was tied.
Right.
So it was a great team effort. I think we played 9 or 10 kids that day. And whether it's 30 seconds at a time or 3 minutes at a time, effort.
You're gonna stop that. you just did it again.
I took the question.
Exactly. It's like it's hard enough interviewing you legends.
I'm not a legend.
And, oh yeah, again, it doesn't take someone winning the state championships are just the icing on the cake.
Sure.
When you create quality kids that come in here as snotty-nosed freshmen that don't know how to tie their shoes right, but by sophomore, junior year, they understand the concept of what or who they are and where you're trying to steer them, and now by the end of their senior year, they're definitely on track to be a prominent citizen in the community.
Right.
And they go off to college and they can finish a 2-year or 4-year education and then go off in the world, then that makes you a legend in my book.
Well, I appreciate that because our goal is to teach them that even though sometimes you do everything right, you still don't get that promotion at work.
Right.
And sometimes you do everything right, but you still get beat by a team that may be a little better than you.
Right.
And so it's about, if you want something, you got to work hard enough to go get it. But that in failure you learn and you get stronger. If life was easy,
everybody would do it.
we wouldn't have strong people in the world. Adversity builds character, and what we do is not easy.
No.
I tell the kids all the time, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
So, that's the goal, is to teach them, try to win as many games as we can, but it's not all about basketball.
We haven't addressed this, and I'd probably be doing a horrible job if we didn't address it. How have you guys handled COVID?
The kids are resilient. They adjust so much quicker and easier than we do as adults.
This mask is killing me.
Well, I try to avoid it when I can. This is probably as close as I've been to anybody besides my husband, But, our statement has been, we will do what we got to do to play. And play every game like it's your last game, because we don't know when it might be. And that's pretty much, we haven't thought about it a whole lot. We do what we can, and that's the two statements we go by.
Definitely understandable. Right now we're at probably a super pivotal
For sure.
point within COVID, because about a week ago we got pushed back to phase 2. I think a lot of people were sad in their heart because they didn't know, or they still don't know how Governor Edwards is going to handle it, and it doesn't
Right.
matter what the LHSAA says.
Right.
We have to follow the standards that Governor Edwards
That's right.
puts forth. How do you guys handle adverse reaction from the government?
Well, the kids don't know probably very much, except that there's only so many people that can be in the gym.
Right.
They don't know much beyond, they just gotta wear masks when Coach Stacey tells them to, So I just tell them, we have so many other things to be thinking about that we don't need to think about things we can't control.
Right.
I'm just trying to get them to go to the right spot at the right time.
No, they don't do that.
That's plenty to think about.
I don't think that's y'all issue. What's your guys' capacity here in your gym?
It's about 1,200, but our 25% we keep at 250.
Okay.
So
y'all got that right. If you want to see these scrappy group of girls play, you better be in that 250.
250.
That was just a little plug. That was an audience plug. Don't worry about it. The interview still continues for at least 8 more minutes. We talked about this before we came on, and I've been just talking to different coaches about it because I think it's important and I think it's time we tackle it. Part of it is, and I'm gonna put this out there before I swing the bat.
Okay.
As parents, as educators, we have to hold kids accountable for doing the right thing in the classroom.
Absolutely.
So that now when our kids aren't, again, we probably had 15 kids over the last 2 years on the boys and girls side that I believe maybe should have went to flagship schools. That went out of state to play. On the girls' side, the biggest one I think to date is Mingo
For sure.
at Mississippi State. She's a monster.
Yes.
You rarely see sophomores at the podium.
Right.
She's at the podium already.
Yeah.
On the boys' side, I think it's Reese Beekman. He's at Virginia. I didn't get to see him play a couple of days ago when they played, but they said he got maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What do we do? What again, how do we get Louisiana to recruit Louisiana?
You know, that's the $1 million question. Honestly, those coaches, they have to get out and see these players play. And as a high school coach, it's very difficult to haul my team to LSU 35, 40 minutes away to watch a bunch of players from out of state that they don't know.
Right.
They know it's LSU,
Right.
but I can tell you, they jump in the car in a heartbeat to go watch Jemiah play.
Right.
I mean,
hey, pick me. I'm gonna jump in the car 35 minutes
yeah,
from Gonzales to go watch Jemiah play.
that's right.
Like, she's phenomenal.
Great player.
I'm just, you know, at probably at the core of it all, you know, it all begins and ends with academics,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand that,
Sure.
but I think I caught a lot of flack. My son, everybody knows my son graduated from East Ascension last year,
Mm-hmm.
and all I asked was hold him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't allow him to come to your class and do nothing because he got dimples and a pretty face and he's 6'5".
Right.
Don't let that be the cause of him not
Right.
getting what he's supposed to get.
That's right.
And you know, and for me, I think that was part of what made me really sad. And it's nobody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's fault at the core of it, it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, and although I can't be in class with him, you know, as a parent, we have to, if we have kids that have high major Division I talent, and as my very good friend Kentrell Hines says all the time, they're giving away money in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving money away in the NFL, like
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And if that's your goal to change your family's generational wealth,
Right.
what's so hard about doing your damn schoolwork?
Right. And see, for us on the women's side, there is no multi-million-dollar changing the wealth of your family state. So it's about getting your high school diploma, getting that college degree,
Right.
so that you can go out and be functional in society and be successful. And, you know, I'm very lucky that I take it personally to be involved with my kids and their grades, because I'm here every day with them. Their parents are not.
Right.
You know, I know if they're having a good day or a bad day at school. And so it's something that us as coaches and parents have to work together to make sure that they are successful. If that means missing 30 minutes of practice to go get some tutoring, that's what we do.
Right.
You know, but I'm willing to let our kids go do that. I'm willing to let them stay 30 minutes after practice to do some extra shooting to make up that practice time.
Right.
But I think it's very important as a role of the high school coach to be involved with our kids' academics.
And don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone listening to this right now to go out and say, oh, off the bench sports is demeaning coaches. No, because there are plenty of coaches right now today that don't touch a football or a basketball until study hall is over. And again, I'm not saying it's anyone's responsibility first but the parents. That's the primary objective of a parent, is to make sure their kids have the proper things they need to be successful in life. So don't nobody go out and tell somebody that I'm demeaning them.
Right.
See, Coach Stacey agrees. I'm gonna say a word and you tell me what it means to you.
Okay.
Albany basketball.
Tradition. That's easy. I grew up in a house that created the tradition, so that's easy. It means, you know, when you go turn on the lights in the morning and you open up the panel and your mom's handwriting is still on the wall, and you flip the lights on and you walk across the floor and you see her name on the floor, that's enough right there to put a hell of a lot of pressure on yourself. And it's funny because I tell people all the time, she doesn't put a lick of pressure on me. She is my biggest supporter. But I put pressure on myself to uphold the standard that she built and created and worked so hard for, because I grew up in that. I was a part of that. You know, I was the little one when she won her first state championship. I was in the 5th grade, riding in the back of the van, you know, listening to all of that. And so I just wanted to be that. So.
Basketball.
My love. It's what I've done since I was 4 years old. I've never done anything but basketball. When the time comes for me to retire, I'm sure I will find something to do involved with basketball because it's my life.
Tough. The young ladies that cross your locker room threshold, what are they doing to you?
They're my family. I tell them all the time, however many I have, that's how many daughters I have that year. And they know I am very hard on them, but they also know I'm hard on my own children, my own flesh and blood, because I want what's best for them. As parents, we want what's best for our children. And so as their coach, I want what's best for them. So they're like family to me.
One last thing that maybe 3, maybe 4. You know, I try to keep my promises. We're close. I'm watching the time on your computer. Tell us a little bit about the young ladies that are playing for you right now.
Okay. I have 4 seniors and 10 freshmen and sophomores.
Wow.
No juniors. So the 4 seniors have been together since they were in 7th grade. Cassie's always been the big one of the bunch, and then the other 3 are the little 3 pesterers. And the 4 of them and I met before season started, and we talked about we need 5 to play. So we're going to need those younger kids, and it's their job to encourage them and know and realize that we need them, and to bring them along and help them become the players that they need to be, probably a year or 2 before they need to be there.
Right.
But freshmen and sophomores, they're hard workers, and they're just dying for information. They love the game, and so anything that's presented to them, they just take it as a challenge, and they do it. And so far, you know, we've been pretty successful being able to mesh some experience with some inexperience.
6'5", 6'4", 6'5". Cassie is, you can't miss her.
Yeah. Well, that's because the rest of us are about 5'3".
No, this is a serious question. She does work in the paint.
Yes,
right?
she works hard.
She gets the extra offensive possessions for you.
Sure.
And I don't care what the reasoning is, but when I see a young lady, when practice ends, just take off, and she's not a small young lady, but she was wide open getting that suicide. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's great. Because I told them at the beginning of practice today, it's the little things. It's the jumping on the line without being told. They know we go 120% at practice from start to finish. So if you're in this gym and you're inside those black lines, you're going 120% because 100% is not good enough. We're not talented enough. So she doesn't know her expectation is our expectation, which is 120%. She knows if she doesn't give me that, she's going to do it again.
Where can we see Albany at next few weeks?
Tomorrow night and Friday night, we are actually hosting games for the Denham Springs tournament.
Okay.
So we have Zachary tomorrow, Port Allen Friday. And then we have 2 home games next week. Springfield on the 8th and Live Oak on the 11th.
Oh.
So come on out.
Come on out.
Be in that 250.
Two district opponents, Springfield and Live Oak.
No, Parish.
Parish tournament then.
Yes, next week was actually supposed to be our parish tournament week, and so the principals asked the coaches to try to schedule parish teams that week.
Oh, okay.
In place of the tournament being canceled. First time in 34 years we had to cancel our tournament.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. How many times have you won it? 6?
I couldn't even tell you. I know one thing. We won it my senior year.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
For sure. I appreciate you coming out and taking the time to talk some basketball.
Hey, we didn't get to talk enough because I got to come back again now because I saw your mother at the game, at the Dunham tournament, and you were getting counsel from her.
Yep.
And we didn't get to talk about her because this was about you. So.
But part of me is her, so I'm okay with that.
You know, we'll meet somewhere again.
Would love to do that.
Even if it's here, and we'll sit down and chop it up again. You guys have a beautiful gym. That's all you need.
That's it.
It's a beautiful gym. The rest comes with effort and energy.
That's it.
You don't even need a ball for that. So.
That's it.
Yeah, she's Stacey Darouse. You guys know I'm Hobart Grayson, Off the Bench Sports, Fat Guy Extraordinaire. Thank you for taking a moment with Off the Bench Sports. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game. She said bye.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
We still are.